What's up, guys? It's your boy Desmond with the Lens. Today we are doing an aerial maternity shoot setup. So, for those of you who have the opportunity to do this, I say try to do it as much in real life versus in Photoshop as you can. It'll make your life a lot easier. I cannot stress this enough. Now, a lot of people like to do it in Photoshop. I like to, again, get it right in camera. That way, on the back end, I can hurry up and deliver everything easily. Anytime I do a shoot like this, everyone gets their own fresh whatever color cloth they want. I always get the 30-yard one just because I'd rather have too much cloth than not enough. And everyone varies in heights. Some people like to be completely lifted off the ground. Some people like to be just off the ground enough. And that's one of the clients that I'm having today, where she just wanted to be just off enough to give it the illusion of being floating in the air. But of course, she's actually is going to be floating in the air. Now, we're gonna go all the way up here. So I already have a bracket installed. I've had it in the studio for years. However, for everyone else, I'm going to really quickly pause it and I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to drop a link, but we're going to stop right here. Now on the screen, I have a screenshot as well as a link for Amazon, something that you can grab. This is something that will more than anything hold anyone that you're going to put onto it. These things are made for upwards of 1,000 pounds, and we already know no one in our swings are going to be 1,000 pounds. Now I start by just putting both loops through, both pieces of the cloth through. I kind of eyeball it at first, where I get a nice little hanging area, and then I'm going to tie a test knot in a second. I always try to make sure I get everything spread out so it's nice and flowy at the bottom. Then I'm going to come down and give it a quick eyeball test just to see how far off the ground I am. Gotta also make sure that everything is correct down here in the bottom, because there's been times where I've set this up and I have not done it correctly, so all the cloth is twisting and turning. Now right back up into the ladder. Now we're just gonna tie a couple of basic knots into here. Now it is a basic knot itself will definitely hold, especially since we have everything through here, but I never rely on just one knot. I'm going to be putting a couple of knots into this because the first one is just there to make sure it doesn't come through the hole. The other ones are there to make sure that it doesn't move or do anything while my client is hanging in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap around the actual loop. And for all of you knot tiers out here, I know that there are better ways to do this. I know that there are better knots. But sometimes simple is perfect. Plus, it's easy for me to be able to take this down if I go with all simple knots. Like if I go with really fancy and complicated knots, then there's a chance that I'll have to cut it down and not be able to just untie it myself. And I want the people to have the option to buy their own cloth like this one, or just use one that we already have in studio for people who don't want to spend the extra money. Everyone wants to save coins somewhere, but hey. All right, now that all the knots are in, I am going to bring myself back down to the bottom. I'm going to grab the camera, bring it closer, because now I have to actually hop into this. I always have to make sure I am in the swing before I ask anyone else to hop into it. Put myself first. That way, if anything goes wrong, well, then it goes wrong with me. Like I can sue me and just have to not never do this again. That's easy versus having a client try to sue me. Then that's a whole lot of legal and all that jazz. But you know, just hop on in once I figure out how to hop in, because you gotta spread it apart so that it's comfy and it wraps around all of them, and so that you feel safe and comfort. And look at me, guys. I am swinging. Now, I didn't like the fact that I was twisting a little bit too much, so I'm going to throw some clamps up top. But honestly, the clamps ain't really do too much to help me out. Um, I know people who do this much better, or they just do it a different way and just fix it all in post. But again, trying to get it right in person is harder, especially when you're trying to do it quickly and efficiently. But this is just a real quick mock-up of it. Now we're gonna go and we're gonna see how it looks when I actually have my client in it. All right, so as you see, I have a nice little stepping block. That is just so that it's easy for them to hop into it. Gotta make it comfortable, make it real easy. I always test and show them how to do it first. That way they get an idea, they get comfortable with it. And again, I'm just hanging, kicking my feet, enjoying myself. So for the first couple shots, I always leave the block underneath of them. That way they can feel confident that something is there and they can trust in the process. Now, if for any reason they think that, oh, I trust you, but I don't wanna do all of that, then it's real simple. I can just put the block right back underneath of them. Now, I always ask for their partner or for whoever is there with them to give me a hand, making sure that they are steady and that they are safe. And I just like to include everyone in the process, right? That way, when they're thinking back, they can like laugh. This is a moment that they can laugh together with. This isn't just one person's moment; it's everyone's moment, and I want them to feel confident that everyone is feeling safe, everyone's having fun, and it just provides another layer to the experience.